Tricksters with dazzling hands. The shoulder tap and the mind fades away. A serial rapist and his invisible crime. This is the art of Pukao. The crime of mind control. Malaysia, thriving metropolis, a hotspot for investment and tourism. And like with every city that is reeling in wealth, there are always some unwelcome characters lurking around, looking to enrich themselves in ways that go beyond the legal, even go beyond the mind. We have all heard about crimes involving distraction, confusion, and mind manipulation that have been around for the longest time. These have been the staple of con artists and tricksters all over the world. But in Malaysia, it comes with some mind-boggling twists. While some of the methods are simply cunning and slick, sometimes it can even border on the magical, with traces of arcane practices, and the victims are simply left in a daze.
Dia ambil beg dia taruh dalam poket saya. Saya terkedu. Saya tak boleh bawa apa.
In a deep trance.
Ada orang dari belakang usiklah Mak Ngah. Dia tepuk belakang. Lepas Mak Ngah dia kena usik orang tu, apa kata dia orang, Mak Ngah ikut.
Or totally knocked out by a particularly deceptive method called Pukao, a blend of hypnosis and mind control.
Itu yang menghairankan saya sebab dalam masa yang terlalu singkat, dia boleh geledah 2 bilik di atas, 1 bilik di bawah dan di tingkat bawah sekali lah. Saya terdetik, adakah aku ni dipukau?
Local newspapers in Malaysia are frequently adorned with reports about unsuspecting locals being dispossessed of their valuables in some sensational or unexplainable way.
Kalau kita tak kena pukau, kita tak sesenang-senang kita nak bagi orang duit, sedang anak kita minta pun kita marah kan. Bukan senang kita nak kumpul duit nak bagi dia. Tapi dah kita kena pukau, sesenang je kita bagi dia duit. Barang emas lagi kita bagi pula dia lagi. Tak cukup.
Sometimes it was their money, sometimes jewelry, sometimes even a car.
When he left, I go to my office. I feel something wrong somewhere. And then I just take out my purse and count. It's 1,600 missing.
Saya parking kereta, saya naik atas, keluar duit. 20,000.
Duit saya lebih kurang 6,000 ringgit. But my money was intact when he left. The money is intact. Never touch it, never pull out any money.
Well, Ben tanya, buat apa banyak ni? Saya pun tak jawab. Masih macam kata orang Kedah tenggelam puncak.
Lebih kurang 500 meter baru saya sedar saya ni kena pukau.
Research reveals that these sort of crimes do occur in many other parts of the world too, but perhaps less frequently. What is consistent across these cases, though, is the fact that victims all claim to have been made unaware of their own situation or the criminal act being performed upon them. The best equivalent for Pukao, the Malay word that describes this phenomenon, is perhaps spellbinding. Many people in Malaysia are inclined to believe that Pukao does in fact involve spells with aspects of the supernatural or some sort of black magic. But could there be a more scientific explanation? Based on numerous testimonies from victims, it is clear that Pukao is very real, and the victims can be found just about anywhere and in a variety of roles or situations. But what remains to be seen is whether science or some special expert knowledge can explain what is really going on behind these amazing crimes. Urmia Mutsaid, an ex-bodyguard, and Lim Ah Chai, a residents' association leader, would seem like very unlikely targets. But they both fell victim to the same type of pukau with almost identical elements.
Arak ni tepuk bau saya. Dia kata, my friend, picture money. Can you show me a Malaysian dollar? Yeah, I said, no problem. Because you are the tourist. I showed. I just took out $100 notes to show you. Saya kata, boleh. Dia bagi tunjuk duit $100. Lepas tu, dia ambil duit dia taruh beg duit dia masuk dalam poket saya. Dia 2 orang, satu bini dia dalam kereta dengan anak. Dalam kereta dengan anak. Memang kita simpati. Memang betul. Siap dengan anak dia, dengan bini dia tunjuk, tengok, you see, my son not eat. The wife came down from the car and stand at the back of me. Kita percayalah bini ada, takkan dia nak menyamun. Dia nak pukul kita. Pakai dengan long sleeve dia, bercakap dengan janggut lemah lembut dia. Cair maya kitanya banyak. Saya pun keluarlah beg duit saya, bagi dekat dia. Dia tak ambil duit, cuma dia pegang-pegang, tengok-tengok begitu je. Dalam kereta ada 5 orang tu. Saya bawa Renault dengan ekor Renault tu. Dalam 5 orang. He never touch me also. If he touch me, I feel something lah. But he not even touch me. Saya sah ni pukau. Nombor 2, saya cakap dia silap mata. Bagi saya lah, pandangan saya, pukau dan dia silap.
The tricksters then thanked Urmia for his patience, even though he was unable to help.
Selepas itu, dia ambil balik beg dia, lepas tu beg saya dia bagi. He hold the $100 notes and then, and then refund back to me. Tapi saya heran duit saya, dia tak, orang kata dia tak keluar duit, dia tak keluar. Dia tak keluar duit. But my money was intact when he left. The money is intact. Never touch it, never pull out any money. Was intact, 100% intact. Dia masuk beg duit dia tu dalam poket saya. Saya berasa macam awan-awangan, macam sedar tidak sedar. Saya ikut saja apa kehendak dia. I feel something wrong somewhere. Lebih kurang 500 meter baru saya sedar duit saya tinggal separuh. And then I just take up my first account. It's 1,600 missing. Dia mana tahu saya duit ada? Bawa teksi.
The art of pukau, or to hypnotize, may be truly baffling to some. But sometimes, to understand it, all you have to do is see it in a different angle.
Pukau is a Malay term, but the more common usage would be hypnotism.
People like to relate the crime to hypnosis basically because they are not fully aware of what hypnosis is about.
Well, in my opinion, there is no such thing as pukau. And what they actually do is basically street magic.
Typically, for an offender or a perpetrator of such crime, this individual is well-dressed, well-mannered.
You always think that these people are very nice people. They bring along their children and then they are a couple. And you let go of the defense system.
A pukau artist can go to a victim and say, "Please, sir, I need help."
So when this person approaches a potential victim, there is no nervousness, there is no questioning.
Like, "Please, sir, I need to buy food for my child." This is the distraction already. He's like, food, child.
In this instance, what happens is that the victim is put into a situation whereby he or she feels pressured to act favorably on behalf of the offender. So the situation is created by the offender.
When you see a person well-dressed, well-behaved, you also let go of the defense mechanism as well.
So what they actually do is they will go up to a victim, a potential victim, and saying like, "Sir, do you have a change for $100 US dollar bill?" Be showing it like that. Now that is the first approach, or shall we call it the icebreaker. And the victim will be thinking, $100 bill for what? Because he's not really sure what's going on. Now, there are a few things going on here. First is a verbal. "Sir, do you have change for $100 bill?" Second is the hand movement. He's showing you the $100 bill. So the visual and the verbal is working together to implant that in the victim's head. So the victim will be thinking like, $100 bill, $100 bill, $100 bill.
Overloading is one of the way where they are able to bypass the conscious mind, because the conscious mind have been overloaded with a lot of things that it starts to impair the ability of doing critical filtering.
So that's repetition there. And then the Pukao artist will be saying, "Please, sir, I need change for $100 bill for my child. He's hungry." And he'll repeat that a few more times. And now in the victim's head, it's only $100 bill and helping this guy's child. So one thing is missing there. How can I help? That's what is sticking in the victim's head. The mind can only focus at one thing at a time. So the victim will be thinking, hey, $100 bill, feeding a man's child, benefiting from it. Now that is rapport. When the Pukao artist realizes that the victim understood that, he will say, time to manipulate.
Memang dia tak bawa. Dia pegang duit tu. Saya tengok dia pegang. Sana bercakap. Dia pengawalkan orang dia bercakap dengan saya. Yang keliling dia awasi. Tapi saya heran duit saya, dia tak, orang kata dia tak keluar duit, dia tak keluar. Dia tak keluar duit.
The tricksters had done enough to impair Urmia's awareness and consciousness, shifting his attention away from his wallet at just the right moment, and simply pulled his money out in broad daylight right before him. Daring? Yes. Professional? Yes. Supernatural? Certainly not. While these trickster cases are easily explained here, things get a lot more puzzling when it comes to hypnotizing or influencing a person and controlling him for up to 12 hours of solid Pukao.